Yep, we're recording.
All right. Okay. Perfect. I don't know. You guys want to go for a round? What's the plan for the weekend? Go ahead, Zep.
Well, I didn't have any plans until now, so I guess this weekend we have to go to another village to buy food. That's a weekly task we have.
There's no supermarket here. There's no supermarket here.
Very small, and there is not the product we want. So yeah, we have to
Mhm.
travel. And there is like this because we are supposed not to leave the village because it's
Right.
and the police can stop us, and it's but we want food, so we have to move us, and
Mhm.
then I'll probably play some video games
Hello,
and
Grave.
chill a bit, and I'll pass it to you, Santi.
Okay. Well, I'm gonna try to relax a little bit this weekend, do some biking, and also work on this NFT project. I'm encouraging this guy that he's a humor drawer, and he draws for magazines and newspapers, and he has a bunch of characters. So we're gonna launch a collection of his drawings as an NFT collection. So I'm working with him. He's got a great drawings. It's amazing. It's incredible how he draws. I'll share it with you guys whenever we keep moving. So I'm gonna work a little bit on that too. So both. What about you, Ivy?
I'm planning to relax as well this weekend. Except I have a meeting with a grip tomorrow morning. So on my morning and it's evening for grip, and then after that I'm free and I'm planning to do some research on travel restrictions because I've been wanting to go somewhere, but I don't know where I can go because of this travel restriction. So that's my plan for the weekend: do some research. And how about you, Grip?
Come to Ecuador. It's a great spot. I have an amazing place in Ecuador, Ivy. If you want to come, it's out of this world. Hard to get to though. But yeah,
that's why it's nice, because there's no people there.
Yeah,
just locals.
And no lockdown either. No masks. Lots of events. Ecstatic dance on Tuesday. Like movie night on Friday. Basketball on Monday and Wednesday. I don't go to them because I'm a workaholic, but it's nice to know that they're happening. And there's no masks in town either. Everyone here thinks coronavirus is a 5G conspiracy cover-up. So it's kind of fun. But yeah, my plan for the weekend, my weekends are basically dominated by DAppNode and Giveth token engineering work. So we're designing tokens for both those projects, and that's like this weekend I'm slammed. I'm going to work with Gabby on developing the Giveth project curation model for their token. And I already developed the model. Now we have to try to implement it. And it shouldn't be too hard. It's pretty basic because I just copied MTA, MStables thing. So we can, the whole thing was to make it as easy as possible so it can be launched, right? And then, that'll be most of my weekend. I'm actually giving up my bike ride. I usually take a bike ride on Saturday morning.
You should ride, man. That's a great way of keeping in shape, man.
I know.
You should ride. Man, if you come here, I'm gonna give you a mountain bike, and you're gonna go uphill with me. So you better get used.
Oh well, I'll get there eventually. We're still fighting that passport thing. I'll probably work on that this weekend too.
And just keep in mind, I'm at sea level, and all you can do is go uphill.
Oh boy.
I want to be there too, Santi.
Okay, all right. I'll also go down there to you guys with the bike. Hey, hi, Juanqui. How are you doing? We're talking about the weekend. What are the plans for the weekend?
Well, I am coming to visit my parents. I am at my parents' house now. And here in Barranquilla, it's very normal in this time of the year that we have carnival, but the carnival was postponed. So everyone is like really sad about that. But besides that, everything is okay, and nothing. A normal weekend.
Okay, all right. Okay, let me just give you the latest news for those of you that don't come often. Hello, hello. We have a new member. That's he was supposed to join today, but I guess he couldn't make it. His name is Adrian, and he was introduced by Chuy. He's a lawyer. He's from Mexico. Oh, hello. There you are. All right.
How you doing, guys?
Then maybe you can present yourself, Adrian. You can present yourself.
Yeah, sorry for the delay. Well, just to be short, I'm Adrian. I'm from Mexico. I'm an attorney. I usually work in tax and corporate matters and also intellectual property. So Chu is my friend here from Mexico, and he invited me to join this amazing community. So I'm so excited to start working together.
Great. Let me just make you a quick introduction. There's Ivy, who's together with Septimus, the igloo guy. They work on the transparency working group. Then there's Juan Carlos, the steward for the governance. No, the governance. No, hold on, man. Conflict management group. He's doing a great on gravity, right? On top of the working group, he's been leading these course that he's doing on Thursdays, and that most of us are joining just for conflict management. So we hopefully will be able to deal conflicts whenever we grow. And then there's Griff, who's probably the initial seed of this whole project, and he's one of the leaders. He's together with Livy, and who's not here, and Jessica and Angela. Those are the three guys that I met on the first meeting. And Griff is his head. Everything's on his head. So any request, any question you have, Griff is going to be able to answer to you.
I have the
and that's me.
Absolutely nothing. But I do work with Chuy on a lot, and he's doing a great job with the gardens one. So and apparently even more, bringing you into the fold. That's so nice.
Right. So basically, here on the legal working group, as I explained the other day, we try to define those documents that we think that would make things slightly easier or protect us a little bit in case of an eventual legal issue. But it's a gray area, a very gray area. Okay, so we need from people like you who are legal experts is to take a look at the shitty legal documents that we probably built and give us your point of view from the legal side. All right, even though there's not too much we can implement because we are not a legal entity, we will not be a legal entity, but still we try to do the things the best way, just in the event something happens in the future that brings some kind of friction. All right, so it's good if you can go through some of the documents I'll share with you later on and give us your feedback. All right, some things we will say, okay, thanks for your feedback, but we're not going to implement them. So we might if it's easy and if it's feasible. but it's good. It's very good for us to get to know the point of view of legal experts. I'm also working with someone else later on today. I'm having another meeting with a guy from LA that showed interest, and hopefully I can convince him. And we will be there will be on top of you. There will be another legal or subject matter expert. That's how we call them, and that'd be great. So that's basically what we do here on the legal working group. We've been working in one of the most important documents, which is the hatch phase terms, which is basically the document that people will, or that rules the terms and conditions of those who will be invest on the very early stage of the project, which hopefully, and correct me if I'm wrong, Griff, that should be sometime during March, if we don't have additional delays. and that's the document that we were working on the last weeks. And I gave you the link. I think I gave you the link at the end.
Yes, I actually
Okay.
gave it a look, and it's really good. To be honest, I made a little bit of comments, not too much, but it's really good.
Perfect. Then if we can go over it later on after a while. So now what I would love to do is try to share. Ivy and Zeptimus can share with us. We've been working also on this document, which is the terms for the meetings. Okay, because as you can see, we are recording all our meetings, and we upload them into YouTube and Library, which is another video service, a centralized video service. And the idea is to let everyone know that if they are joining us on a meeting, their image is gonna be recorded. It can be live streamed. Sometimes we get these meetings packed of people and we live stream them. So people who is not able to jump into the room, at least they can follow us live. And we also, of course, upload them later on. So we are thinking on, we've been creating, these guys have been creating this document that they shared with us the other day. We hacked a little bit on it, and it'd be great if you guys can share with us the last iteration that you've been working on. Can you go ahead, Zep or Ivy?
Yeah, I'm sharing my screen.
Okay.
Should I read it, or how do we want to do this?
I think it's better to have a hack sesh, honestly, where we just silently all read it and edit, make comments and questions, and it's like, okay, we have this space where 7 people can all just like start making comments. Do you have a link to this document posted in Legal, maybe?
Yeah, it's in Legal.
Cool. One thing I don't see in here is any mention that of how we upload the recorded videos to library.
I think it should be there somewhere.
Is it?
Well,
I think we removed the mentions of YouTube and library because we wanted to make it more general. So what we discussed last time, Zep, was to just say that to make the channels more general rather than saying just YouTube or library, because we might also use them in other platforms.
The one thing that I think is worth mentioning is that if we're uploading to library, we can never take it down. So
right, because it's a blockchain platform, right?
Yeah, so even if we wanted to take it down, we couldn't. Like if someone's like, "Yo, I need you to censor this thing, like my image, blah blah blah," like we actually can't. And I think that's like a huge problem in some ways, like for this specific legal terms.
Well, I remember discussing this the other day, yeah. And basically we decided to leave it open because today is library, tomorrow maybe somewhere else. So we didn't want to commit to just 2 services like library and YouTube, because that may change. So we prefer to leave it open. But I think that your point is important. We should maybe add that some of these services may keep the content forever because they are decentralized platforms and we cannot control we cannot delete. Yeah, we cannot get rid of the content that we post. Maybe we should add that.
Yeah, maybe it goes as part of the last one, like because it kind of goes along the same line as like I don't know how to phrase it.
Maybe once we meeting recordings are published on blockchain, we are not able to on blockchain platform.
Well, I think we could even be more vague than that. I mean, if, like, let's say we don't publish on blockchain, but we publish on YouTube, and someone downloads it.
Right.
I mean, we can't stop them, and then we go back and we're like, oh, that legal expert didn't want to say that online, so we took it off. But oh, someone already recorded it.
Yeah, that's true.
We can loop it in. Because as you guys were talking, I realized, like, yeah, you know, it doesn't matter if it's on blockchain or on YouTube. We can't stop people from
You can stop
publishing.
it. Right.
Yeah.
There's one thing that I remember going over last week, Adrian, that was bothering a little bit us, which is, okay, we have these terms, and we may mention them at the beginning of the meetings. Okay, we may mention the community steward that leads the meeting, maybe mentioning, okay, there's these terms that you can go over for joining the meeting, blah, blah, blah. But if someone jumps, these are open meetings, you came late, and if I would have said that at the beginning of the meeting, you would have missed it. So there's this idea that came too, which is the one that records, keeping like a little banner on the window mentioning that it's being recorded, and there's some terms that you can check on. Do you think that should be enough?
Okay, I think we have to. I'm sorry, can you hear me okay? Because I'm walking on the street.
Yeah, that's fine.
Okay, I think we have two options. One can be that you're mentioning that we can have a ban. When we're recording the meeting, we can have a ban that anyone can see that we have terms and conditions that should be accepted. And the second one that I believe is way better. Well, I'm not a tech guy, but I don't know if it's possible to, before joining the meeting, you have to accept the terms and conditions. You know, to open like a window when you have to click accept, and after you accept it, you can join the meeting. Am I explaining?
Yeah, maybe we could do that with a bot on the new server. I'm gonna ask Chris. Can you Septimus ask Chris that he's taking care of the new bots on the channel on this?
This can be part of the Discord terms and conditions. We should just loop the meeting terms and conditions into when someone joined the server, they had to sign this.
Sorry, I don't know what happened.
Okay.
Do you hear me? The last thing?
Yes, Yes, we heard you, Adrian. The idea is that anyone who joins Discord, we're gonna have a new Discord server that we're putting together, and we're gonna require everyone joining that server to sign or agree on the terms and conditions. So we could include these terms and conditions on top of the general ones that we are working on.
Exactly. You just have to accept it before you can join any meeting. And that's it. That's simple.
Perfect. That sounds great. Great option.
Yeah, that's a great idea. Ivy also had another idea of when we are announcing let's say in 10 minutes we have the legal call. Also have a banner in there. Remember that this call is being recorded.
Right, just adding that on top of the agenda or any other document that you had to announce that we are having the meeting in 10 minutes or half an hour or whatever, right? Okay.
And the thing is, you know, it doesn't have to be like all the legally. We can be like, oh, and if you can't make it, remember all of our calls are being recorded, and here's the YouTube. We can dress it up so it doesn't sound so like, and don't forget it's being recorded, so you better be careful, you know?
Right. Okay. All right. Good.
Actually, Ivy write it like in a nice way. I just say it in like this way, but Ivy write it like DC encouraged to be transparent. Like she did it like much better wording.
Yeah, it's in the top of the every agenda template. They can just the stewards who are announcing the calls can just copy paste it and include it in their messages when they announce the meetings.
Then another thing we wanted to discuss, then on YouTube there is that option that to allow people to use the content that we are. I think that, I mean, that can be both sided. Like there is a good, if people use this content like to make fun things or make something nice for the community, that's awesome. But then it's the other side, like someone like, I don't know, take my face and make a meme to make me feel bad or something like that. So on YouTube we can say to allow or not allow. But yeah, we just copied it there, so the legal expert would say what's better.
Did you get the question, Adrian?
No, can you ask it again, please?
Yeah, there is an option
Yeah, go ahead, Jeff.
There is an option on YouTube to allow everyone to take that content and use it. And we don't know if we should allow or not allow. I mean, they have good allowing to use can have good impact, but also bad. So yeah, that's why we wanted to have some legal advice.
Well, in Spanish.
Can I just say that Zep is specifically talking about the Creative Commons option on YouTube. So if that setting is on, it means that everybody can reuse our videos. If you're familiar with the Creative Commons option in YouTube.
Yeah, Adrian?
Okay. Yeah, well, in Spanish, we have a phrase that it says that you're not obligated to comply with the impossible. What does that mean? That it's not it's impossible to you to, I mean, imagine all the possible scenarios, you know? So when we have these type of meetings, our only responsibility is to aware everyone what can happen regarding the terms and conditions. I mean, you can join this meeting. This meeting is going to be publicly recorded. It's going to be uploaded to YouTube. So what happens on YouTube, it's not my business. It's YouTube business, and I mean, it's problem, you know. So if we only advise and aware everyone what can happen, even if it happens or it doesn't happen, that's enough.
Okay.
Okay.
Okay. Good to know. All right. But I guess Zeptimus' question was more in sense of, do you think from the legal perspective, although this is a very open question, but if it's better to let anyone use, our content, or don't allow, so leave it under the Creative Commons terms or not, or just mention that you cannot use this video. If you use it, we can, if we think, we can prosecute you or do whatever we think, but we are not allowing you to use it. Of course, if they use it, it can be for good or for bad. So do you think it's better to leave them the option to use it, or just forget, just click on the "we don't allow you to use this content" option in YouTube?
Okay, well, here is kind of a silly question, because if we don't allow anyone to use our content, it's like against our all philosophy, about liberty, about freedom, about decentralized communities. So I believe anyone can use it if they want to use it. But in a legal perspective, it's better to, I mean, do not allow anyone to use your content. But that's not up to you. Anyone can have access and can use it for good or bad purposes. And I think the important thing here is to be aware and let everyone know what can happen on the terms and conditions.
Yeah, I mean, if we don't do, look at the options, right? If we do Creative Commons, then we can't tell anyone to take it down. We can't, like, it's already been licensed as this, and it's free to move,
Exactly.
If we say we own the license to it, we're asking for more obligations. If someone's like, yo, I don't like that I said this, then we have almost the obligation to actually go and censor them, or as they request. Like, I don't want that trouble. You guys want that problem? I would go Creative Commons.
Yeah, creative 100%. That's the reason of this.
Okay,
Perfect.
So what I'm getting here is like we will just leave it as a Creative Commons property, like it's open, but we will have this disclaimer that for any misuse of content, the TEC will not be held liable for those for misuse of content.
Exactly.
Okay.
Right.
Thanks.
Great. Any other questions that Adrian can help with?
One thing that we talked about last week, Santi, is the commercial purposes. So we are, it's not very clear to us if it's considered a commercial purpose if we use it to encourage people to join us.
Okay, that's. I mean, you meaning that if we use this content to invite people to join us, if this means that it's used for commercial purposes? That was the question.
Right, that was the question.
Okay, that one, if you can let me check it out, because it's kind of a tricky. Because I mean, we are not having like monetary income because of people joining us. If you're talking about a regular like money, US dollars, euros, etc., but we have a crypto and it has some type of value, so I need to check it out. That one, it's gonna be a little bit complicated, but I can check it out, no problem.
All right, thank you, Adrian. That'd be great. So is that all, Ivy? Did we go over all the things that we needed to cover?
Yeah, I think so. That's the major one for me.
Cliff, now that you're watching and going over the document for the first time, do you see any additional point that we could discuss or go over?
Just a general perspective. I feel like there are a couple lines in here that are like obligations on us, and it's not the point. The point isn't to make our lives harder. The point is to make our lives easier. So, like, for instance, the first thing, the protocols. Participants should be notified in any way that a meeting is live streamed or recorded for transparency purposes. We're basically making a deal where if we say that, we're making a deal where we say, we promise we will tell you if it's being live streamed or recorded. I don't think we can live up to that promise. I think there's going to be random calls that someone comes into, maybe YGG does a lab and he doesn't mention that's being recorded because he just forgets. It's assumed, we record every single one. So I would really just look. I'm looking over it right now and seeing whoa, are we obligating ourselves to do something? Because that's the exact opposite of what we want to do. We want to set expectations for the participants, and we want to set those as low as possible so we can meet them every time.
Yeah, I completely agree with that. We should leave that away and just mention that just make sure that everyone that joins the Discord channel clicks on the I agree, and then that's it. We already mentioned if you went over them or not is your own business, not ours. You click on accept, I accept, and that's it. So maybe we could just get rid of that part of the document.
Exactly, and that should be enough. Actually, that should be enough.
I think we should leave it, but just change it and just say, people every time you're in a call, you should expect that it's recorded and live streamed and published. Because I think it's there for a great reason. It's because an Ivy linked to it. It's because there's some YouTube terms of service, right? That they're saying, hey, you better tell everyone if you're going to record something. Everyone needs to know. Yeah. Well, this is us telling everyone, and even telling them that calls that we're not recording might be recorded. So, and that's the point of this, is to cover our ass, Yeah,
I think that part, Zep, is already mentioned in the first paragraph, that by joining the call, they agree that they will be recorded, something like that. So if it's the same thought, we can leave. Just delete that bullet.
What I'd love to, Adrian, once you have a chance, I'll leave the link into the agenda. The agenda document is being posted on the general channel of the server, and just let me know if you cannot find it. So I'll leave the link, and whenever you have a chance, just go ahead and take a quick look over it, and if there's anything that you think we should slightly change or any suggestion, just let us know.
Sure, no problem.
Okay, I'm just gonna add it here.
Another question, a quick one. So, since we agreed that it will be under Creative Commons, the videos will be under Creative Commons. So, we can delete the first bullet, since we don't really own them.
Yeah, I agree with you, Ivy.
The one that says that the TC owns the content?
Yeah, I think that would be deleted.
Well, it should be replaced with all content is published under a Creative Commons license. And I think that's fair. I mean, I think that's standard, honestly, in the crypto space. The only question that usually most crypto groups have to decide is whether they're published with the requirement of attribution or not. And that's I don't really care personally, but That's the question. Because I think in YouTube you have to choose too if you require attribution or not.
Okay. Well,
What's attribution in Catalan, Santi? I didn't understand.
Al YouTube they request you to mention si ets el creador, si és teu.
Oh. True.
Catalan is such a beautiful language.
But anyway, just leave it there. If Adrian gives a quick look afterwards, if there's anything that needs a little bit tweaking, I'm sure he'll realize. So we should be covered. Okay. Everyone's fine with it? How it's like now, right now?
I mean, yeah, if then Adria is going to check it, I think it's great.
Okay. All
Griff
right.
did a lot of changes as well.
Okay. All right.
Yeah, in general, I'm just trying to make that, in general, just like whenever we're writing these terms and conditions, I highly recommend making them as broad as possible and creating as few obligations on ourselves as possible. We're right. It's just like, instead of videos, right? It's published content, right? Like maybe someone takes a screenshot. It's not a video. Oh, I found a loophole. Just have to, and instead of like, we'll never use them for commercial purposes, they should never be used as commercial purposes. A little like make it a little more flexible and yeah.
Right. Perfect.
Yeah, I totally agree. And yeah, when we were doing it with Ivy, it was more like what we were thinking, but then like the idea is like a legal do all the change he thinks it's better for us.
Perfect. Should we just jump into? I'd like Adrian. I don't know if you're still walking on the street or not, but it doesn't really matter if you cannot go over the. I would like you to give us your insight on the hatching terms document, at least initially, and later on, maybe next week or during the week, we can work on the details that you've been reviewing from that document. But I'd love if you can just share with us the insight that you got from that reading that you've been going over.
Adria is not here.
Oh, he fell down. It's Juanqui. They have the same color, and I thought it was him. Okay, well, I'm happy that he joined.
That he was having connection issues.
Yeah, he was walking on the street and he was coming back and forth. Let's see if he can join again, and if not, I'll try to catch up with him and get his insights. But he already started working on it because when we talked on Tuesday, I think he already requested me to send him the link to the document. So and he mentioned today that he's been working on it already, which is great. So I don't know. There's anything else you guys want to go over?
Well, if you don't have anything, we have a sprint planning meeting pretty soon. I don't know if there's an opportunity to just look at what we want to do for the legal group and transparency group and gravity group. Why not? And make sure that we have the issues that we want to do this week for this next sprint.
Right.
Seems a good idea.
We got to label them with next sprint to make life easy on Tamra.
Right. So I think we probably want to go there.
So we do it together, or we just go on our working group?
Yeah, I mean, it's nice just to co-work, right? It doesn't have to be a meeting. It can be a hack sesh where we just hang out.
Yeah.
Hey, Juanqui, now that you're here, I was talking with Libby about all the terms and how to wrap them in the code of conduct document that she's putting together on the hacking sessions and from our feedback. And we decided that we're going to include most of those in the code of conduct, except for those that need a special treatment, like the hatching terms or these transparency meetings terms that we're working on. Is there anything? I think that you went over the document, the hatching terms document, right?
Yes, I read it.
Is there anything there that you think we should add, or do you think that was missing, or from your perspective?
No, I think it was really good. I mean, I am not a legal expert, but from my point of view, I think that it was very complete and it targeted the points that needed to be addressed.
Okay, all right. So there's from what I have on my mind, we've been working on the GitHub terms. I'd like to work on the terms for posting a proposal, and finally this document that we've been working with Zeptimus and Ivy. I don't think there's any other that needs a special treatment. I don't know, Griff, and now that you're also here, if there's any other one that you can think of that we should go deeper from the legal perspective.
I mean, the hatch is the big one. People are putting money there. And honestly, the Discord one is probably the other big one because we do so much community gatherings there. With those two done, I think we should be good for like the hatch. Well, and then obviously just like, all the stuff that Wonka and Livy are doing for more of the soft gov, like social thing. But from the legal perspective, I think Discord and like, sending money. Beyond those two, it's the legal perspective stuff is like, I don't know that there's much else. Yeah. Maybe the forum. Okay. We engage there a lot.
Yeah,
but those three.
Well, there's a lot of interaction. Yeah, those three are the ones, right? Are the ones that. And then the proposals. We have to think on the proposals because as soon as we start voting and giving away money, that's going to be probably the most critical one.
So I guess that's the other one is the dandelion voting proposal, because there's so like the hatch, like there's no conviction voting, so you don't have to worry about that so much. But getting the dandelion terms in, technically that can be done during the hatch, right? Because during the hatch there's no voting, so you have that 2-week period. But so I guess it's like the third. I'd put it on par with the forum.
Yeah, we probably want to work on that document the dandelion voting, because that's the one in terms of schedule is the one that we're going to need next after the hatching terms.
Yeah, is the Discord one done?
Well, it's just about this one that we've been working on, isn't it?
Well, I assume that there's some other chats like, if people are doing sexual harassment, blah blah blah. I don't know. Chat room.
I haven't been working specifically on anything concerning Discord, but the document that we've been discussing here, the recording meetings, which is not specifically the Discord one.
Yeah, I mean, I would imagine that it's not it shouldn't be legal leading it. It should be like SoftGov and Wonka leading it. But we are going to move to Discord soon, so that's probably the highest time preference, because when we move to Discord and people come in, if they don't sign our terms and conditions, or we want to change them later,
right?
Well, we're going to make everyone. We're going to kick everyone off.
Right. It's going to be hard. Right. Okay. Yeah. Maybe we can focus on that. Maybe we could discuss that today during the meeting, the sprint meeting. Just a quick, easy discussion, because since there's Wonka and Libby and us involved in that, see see how Olivia is dealing with that, if she started or not, and how we can make sure that that's ready by the time we launch the Linux server. Okay. Okay, then we're just gonna be working here with the with ZenHub. I'm just gonna be here around and jump at the top of the hour. So you guys are free to do whatever you want. Thanks everyone for joining. Thanks everyone for joining. Sure, sure.
I mean, it's not legal related, but I just created an issue and I didn't remember to put the transparency label, and I don't know how to find it now.
In ZenHub?
Yeah, I'm here.
You probably need to do it on GitHub.
You can find it in. It should be under the new issues if you created one. You just created it today.
Yeah, right
you
now.
Just have the you have these filters on.
Yeah, remove the transparency.
You got to remove all the filters underneath the labels and milestones and assignees. You know, there's like another row that says transparency working group and all these things.
Yeah, but now I don't have any.
So then scroll down on the new issues column, and it should be the very bottom.
Oh, thank you, Rick, and everyone.
So yeah, I love the co-working. It's fun.
Yeah, I think that's great, and yeah, we can help each other when we have any of that. So I assigned that to. In that case, I should assign Juan, Ivy, and me, right? It's the gravity trial audit.
So you should assign one person.
So it should be
only ever assign one person. It should be. And then you can tag the other people, but there should only ever be one person assigned.
Okay, and who should
because whoever's going to be responsible for it being done, I assume that it's you.
Okay.
Like whose job is it to make sure it happens? Obviously, everyone has to help, but who's going to be like accountable for it being done?
Okay. Yeah. Well, I think it's me and Ivy, right? But yeah, I can take the. Yeah.
I mean, who needs to see it on their board when they sort for their name? You know.
Yeah. I'm happy to say it. Yeah.
Yeah. There needs to be just one person. I mean, a lot of the times, like Jake, most of the TE param stuff, he's responsible for it getting done, but he doesn't do it. He bugs the hell out of me and makes me do it, right? Like, or YGG or Wesley, you know, like it's his job to make sure it gets done. That doesn't mean it's his job to do it.
Awesome.
Hey, Grave, now that you're here, did you see the messages I sent you regarding the guy from Vigor, the community? Did you know the guy? His name is Andrew, and he was named Stablecoin.
No, I don't know the guy. So I saw those messages, looking at Vigor and and then got distracted. But the only person I know in that like community really is Luke Stokes.
Okay. Well,
so,
yeah, I know Luke. He's a good guy, but I don't think he's a token engineer. He's a great director, and he knows a lot, but I don't know if he knows all the ins and outs to design an engineering community from the token perspective.
He probably knows all the token engineers though in EOS.
Yeah, well, he for sure does know a bunch of people there. Mm-hmm. Okay.
I mean,
There's
I think I don't think he's useless when it comes to token engineering. And
no, I'm sure it's not.
I would say that we should definitely target him as a hatcher and ask him who else in the EOS community would benefit from a token engineering commons.
I could approach also the guys that develop EOS DAC that later onboarded him into EOS DAC, and they are the ones that developed this game that just came around in Wax. It's a game about planets, and every planet's going to be a DAO, and it's on the Wax blockchain. I'm going to be in contact with them because I'm going to do some testing here and there with someone launching NFTs on the game. So I'll approach them and I'll see if, because they are the ones who designed the token, the EOS DAC token that was released when the EOS blockchain was released, and so they have, and now they've released their token for the game, and they've made a bridge, so it's a token on the Wax blockchain and also on Ethereum blockchain, and so they know quite well. At least they had several experiences over that.
It's weird. I don't see Discord TNC. I don't see Discord TNCs in the board. Did they get closed?
The EOS DAC?
Are they done? No. Sorry I changed the topic. Just like the terms and conditions. They all got closed, but we didn't finish it, did we?
No, I know that Chui said that he had to jump out. And
no, I'm talking about for the Discord TNCs. I'm just going to reopen these issues.
Yes, I think Tam closed some of them last week, and maybe some of them are still so much finished.
I don't think this is done. I haven't seen it, at least. I mean, that doesn't mean it's not done, obviously. Have you seen the Discord TNC?
Yes,
have you seen the
229?
Have you seen the actual document? Is it done?
Yes, Sep made a document and is linked in the terms and conditions, in the code of conduct.
Well, I would say that we should pull it out and get it in the Discord this sprint. I think are we going to be able to get into the Discord sprint? It seems like it, right? I mean, it's been up there, sitting there.
Yeah, I don't know how to do it, but when I was writing the document, I was thinking on like many servers too. Like you read that, and then you click that, like the emoji, and then you are in the whole server. So then you make sure everyone knows it, or at least you intuit like they read it. Like if they don't want to read it and click there, it's up to them. I have a question. We did a vote on the audit proposal where the criteria were on a Google Doc, but now we are building the financial statement on that doc. But should we vote it again, or is it? I mean, it feels weird if we change right now, right?
For the transparency, in the end, in my opinion, the whole point of working groups is to avoid the big votes that everyone has to decide on everything. You know, you got general approval on the idea of a transparency audit, and you gave the proposal thing, and it was unanimous. You definitely can change it. We can't be too bureaucratic. This is blockchain. We need to be agile. Yeah. We need to be able to move fast, and we need to be able to trust the leaders to be free, you know? But like the idea of a transparency audit was what the vote was about. The details, I mean, the whole point was after you do one, the whole thing's going to change anyway. You shouldn't have to do a revote.
Yeah. Thank you.
Voting is like, we need to minimize the voting, you know? That's okay. Why we do working groups.
I just sent the document in the stewards in the stewards chat of the Discord agreements.
Nice. So I reopened the issue mostly because now it actually needs to be added to the Discord. Well, I mean, so each person, legal, SoftGov, and Gravity should all do one final read through and approve and say, yes, it's done. And then we need to have someone actually assigned. Well, and Zep needs to add the meeting notes to it, finish the meeting notes and add it to it. And then someone actually needs to put it in the Discord, right?
But we're talking about the Discord meeting, right? The document
but the Discord, the Discord terms and conditions need to have the meeting notes. First, the meeting notes, the meeting terms and conditions need to be done, and then they need to be added to the Discord thing. Otherwise, you'll have two working documents, and that's always lame.